That Merrill Lynch just came out with a survey that shows that fund managers are holding the biggest amount of cash since 2001, waiting to get out there. Let me get right now to Anthony Scaramucci. He's in Cleveland in front of our cameras. You've got, what, $12 billion at work where you work at SkyBridge. What do you think about that? And what are you doing with your pile of cash? Or what will you do with it once you put it to work?
I think it's super important for people to understand that that's a very bullish sign. It sounds like a counter indicator, but it's super bullish. It just means that people have been defensive. As good news breaks, people will be putting more money into the market. If you get a weak drop in the market, people will deploy in an asset allocation strategy, Liz. So that's a very bullish sign. But I do think the reason why the market is rallying here has to do with monetary policy. The fact that all of these banks, Bank of England, Japan, et cetera, U.S., have not moved is a good sign. It means that there is some ammo in the tank. If we get bad news into the third and fourth quarter, they have room to go down on interest rates or to start quantitative easing. And so for us, we're in structured credit. We have a slight bias long in the U.S. markets. Remember, we're a hedge fund, so we like to keep things even and keep them hedged. But I think markets are going to trade higher into the fall. And, you know, listen, all of our guests on Wall Street Week have said this, so I'll repeat this on your show. It's not going to matter super much who the next president is for the market if the fundamentals are intact and you've got the right positive vibe from the European and the Federal Reserve, European Central Bank and the Federal Reserve.
Let me give you a few, I guess, near-term fundamentals. We got first-time jobless claims today. They are once again at 43-year lows and 3-month lows, depending on which metric you're looking at. Mortgage rates are so low that existing home sales were boosted to 9-year highs. Donald Trump takes the stage tonight. He's got to walk a fine line of trying to say things aren't that great, and yet we do see relatively decent numbers in the short term.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I think things are good. It's just how deep is the good? You know, is it 10% of the population and the top 10%? Is it the top 15% of the population? If you dig a little bit deeper, Liz, you see that there is a 9% drop in disposable income over the last 10 years. You see that there's a lot of governmental dependency. 47 million people are on some form of governmental dependency. 97 million Americans are out of the labor markets. And so, yes, there's no question, depending on what side of that fence you're living on, it's either very good or you feel some anxiety. And so I think Mr. Trump has to straddle the line there and explain that to people. We had lunch with him today. It was myself and a small, intimate group of 600 people. And it was a lot of fun to be with him. And he talked a little bit about that speech. And my guess is that he's going to spend most of his time talking about the things he thinks we need to do to fortify America and restart the clock on those types of jobs.